Hello and welcome to lesson 8.2 about exponential growth and decay. We did talk about exponential growth and decay and the difference in between exponential formulas or functions and linear, and we could also tell the difference between the two. Now we are going to work with exponential functions and talk about their growth and decay formulas. We're going to start with growth, and then we'll do an example, and then we'll move on to decay and do an example. They are very similar, but they are different, so I want to do them each separately. Okay, let's start with the formula then. So the formula for exponential growth is y equals a times the quantity 1 plus r to the power of t. Now, I need you to write this down. You should always have access to this formula. You don't need to memorize it, but you do need to have it somewhere. Now, I also know that there are a lot of different variables and we don't know what they stand for. So that's what we're going to talk about now. So we have y equals, and that's the answer that we're going to get. A is the initial amount. That's what you're starting with. R is the growth rate. This is as a decimal. And T is the amount of time. So you need to have all of this information, take a picture of it, write it down, whatever you need to do, but you do need to know this. As a reminder, to turn a percentage into a decimal, you're going to move the decimal places 2 spaces to the left. For example, if we have 9%, that is going to equal 0.09. Because the decimal is right here, we move it 1, 2, right here, and we have to add that 0. That's just a little reminder in case you forgot how to do that. It's a lot easier when we go ahead and just do an example. So that's what we're going to do. Our example says that annual sales for a company are $125,000 and are increasing at a rate of 8% per year. Use an exponential function to find the annual sales after 5 years. And then they want us to round to the nearest cent. So what I always suggest to do is take a look at the problem and identify the important information first. So annual sales, because there's a lot of junk, right? There are a lot of words in here that we don't need. Let's find out the stuff that matters. Annual sales for a company are 125%. That's important. Or $125,000. Yikes. That's important. That is our starting amount. That's A. I guess I can also remind us of our formula too. That might be helpful. You always want to have your formula somewhere. Okay, so we have our initial amount. That's A. They're increasing. This is how we know that this is a growth formula, not a decay formula. Increasing is getting bigger. At a rate, there it tells us right there, ding, 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 it tells us rate. That's an important word. A rate of 8% per year. That is R. And we know we do have to change that to a decimal. So it's going to equal 0.08 when we use it. And then use an exponential function to find the annual sales after 5 years. And it's also important to note here, years, they match up. We don't have to convert anything. So that 5 years, that's the time. So you need to know A, you need to know R, and you need to know T. This is an art. You can think of it that way. Exponential functions are, solving them is an art. So A is $125,000. R, as we know, needs to be a decimal. That's 0.08. And then T is time, and that is 5 years. All we have to do now is take and plug this all into our formula. So we have y equals A, which is 125,000, times the quantity, 1 plus 0.08 to the power of 5. We just took and plugged all of that in. Now you can put this in your calculator. That's honestly the only way I would suggest doing this. There's no reason to not use your calculator. So you plug this into your calculator exactly how you see it, and you make sure that this exponent is outside of the parentheses here. It looks just the same. You're good to go. And then you're going to get your value and round it to the nearest cent, the nearest penny. And you're going to end up with, or you should end up with, $183,666.01. And it is important to include our unit here. Okay. Make sure that you're able to get that. This also is an example in your homework, just so you know. And we can move on. Now let's talk about our exponential decay formula. It looks really similar. Got y equals A times the quantity 1 minus R to the power of T. That's the only difference right here. Oh. I did not mean to erase that. I wanted to highlight it. That is the only difference right here, this minus. Instead of a plus, now we're subtracting because decay is getting smaller. Think of when something decays, like in the ground, it goes away, it gets less. All the same important information that we need. We need A, we need R, and we need T. We need the initial amount. We need the rate as a decimal. And we need the time. Still an art to solve exponential decay formulas or problems. Let's do an example. We're going to remind ourselves of the formula here. So we can reference that, and we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We know that we need A, we need R, and we need T. So let's get going here. The value of Melissa's Jeep is $28,000 and is depreciating. That's our keyword. We know that it's decay because it's depreciating, getting smaller, at a rate of 14% per year. Use an exponential function to find the value of the Jeep after 6 years. And again, we're rounding to the nearest percent. Let's go back. We're going to look for A, our initial amount. Melissa's Jeep, the value of Melissa's Jeep is $28,000. That is A, that's our initial amount. It's depreciating at the rate of 14% per year. That's the rate. And use an exponential function to find the value of the Jeep after 6 years. That's time. And remember, it is important that our units match up, years and years, or it would be minutes and minutes, because if one is minutes and one is hours, you're going to need to convert to where they're both the same. we know that 60 minutes is 1 hour, right? So we have to make sure that our units match. They do match here. Just a little trick. So let's fill in our information. 14% is going to equal 0.14 because we move that decimal 1, 2. And then we just take and we plug this all into our formula and put it in our calculator. We get our answer and we want to round it to the nearest cent. Again, so it's going to be 2 decimal places. And once you put that in your calculator, it's going to be $11,327.88, and that unit is dollars. That's what we're working with here. We're going to be working with dollars often, but you can also be working with like people for population. You can be working with students or like followers for social media. You can be working with just whole numbers. If it says whole numbers, just pay attention to the unit. That does matter. Make sure that you've got this stuff down. This is another example from your homework. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would be more than happy to help you. I hope you have a wonderful day.